Welcome to another edition of Breaking News brought to you by Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will discuss the case of Equitas Corp., or EC, decided by the GAO. In this case, the Air Force issued the initial solicitation in seeking proposals for SBIR topic J201-CS01. This topic was an open call for innovative, clear defense-related dual-purpose technologies and solutions with a clear stakeholder need. The Phase 2 proposals were received and evaluated, and Equitas was notified of its tentative selection for award. Nevertheless, the agency ultimately found that it would be inappropriate to fund EC's proposal because the proposed effort failed to meet the statutory definition of research and development and lacked the level of innovation required to allow the use of the research, development, test and evaluation, or RDT&E appropriation. The agency notified EC of its decision on March 10th and provided a brief explanation of its decision to exclude them from award. Thereafter, EC requested a debriefing, which the Air Force provided on March 16th. On March 25th, EC filed this protest at the GAO. EC challenges the evaluation of its proposal, arguing that the Air Force applied an unreasonable interpretation of R&D and lacks an understanding of Equitas's proposed effort. The Air Force responds that the protest should be dismissed as untimely because it was filed more than 10 days after EC knew or should have known of the basis for protest. EC asserts that it did not learn its basis of protest until receiving the debriefing, and that it properly filed its protest within 10 calendar days of that time. EC argues that its protest was timely filed because it could not have known the basis of its protest allegation until receiving the debriefing on March 16th. En route to finding against the protester, the GAO noted its bid protest regulations contain strict rules for the timely submission of protests. The timeliness rules reflect the dual requirements of giving parties a fair opportunity to present their cases and resolving protests expeditiously without disrupting or delaying the procurement process. Under these rules, a protest such as this, based on other than alleged improprieties in a solicitation, must be filed not later than 10 days after the protester knew or should have known of the basis for its protest, whichever is earlier. An exception to this general rule is a protest that challenges a procurement conducted on the basis of competitive proposals under which a debriefing is requested, and when requested, is required. In such cases, with respect to any protest basis, which is known or should have been known either before or as a result of the debriefing, the protest must be filed no later than 10 days after the date on which the debriefing is held. GAO continued, "Our office has previously determined that SBIR procurements conducted pursuant to 15 U.S.C. 638 are not procurements conducted on the basis of competitive proposals, and that the debriefing exception to our timeliness rules does not apply to those procurements. Given these facts, the protest is untimely and is dismissed. Now let's address a few of the lessons learned from this protest. They include: 1. Competitive proposals have required debriefs, and protests may be filed 10 days after receiving it. 2. SBIR procurements are not considered to be competitive proposals. And 3. Protests of SBIR procurements must be filed within 10 days of when the grounds are known or should have been known, whichever is earlier. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discuss the EC case and some nuances of debriefings when making SBIR awards. This concludes today's Source Selection Soundbite. If this video was helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any new material. If you want more details on the subject, they are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, sample documents, and more material that allows practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.